we're going to talk about something really fucking cool. I wrote some notes this time. Okay, passion. Blog on passion. So, I'm going to tell you about 4 steps in living a life based on your passion, even if you don't know what your passion is right now. A lot of people talk about, live life based on your passion, and not a lot of people define that. So let me give a definition. Living life based on your passion means that you're doing something you love and you're making your living from it. Okay, cool. So that's a very simple definition. You're doing something you love and you're making a living from it. Now, most of the answer is in that definition, because once you simplify the definition, you don't have to search far for how to do it. Now, simple doesn't mean easy. There's a lot of failure and trial and error that goes into living a life based on your passion. I am deep into the 3rd step. 4th step is optional, by the way. But I'm deep into the 3rd step, which is really the final step. The 4th step is just go back to step 1 if you need to, essentially. And I'll go over the steps in a second. So right now, I am deep into the last step, and it looks like this will be my end-all, be-all for living based on my passion. I'm nearly there. But I've gone through these steps so many times with different things, and I'm at a place where I can talk with authority on these steps because of that. So there's 3 steps, and I'll share them briefly, and then I'll go deeper into them, and then I will end the video. So the first step is to explore, and I'll explain it in more detail in a second. Second step is to follow one path. And the 3rd step is to figure out how to make money from it. And the 4th step is, if you need to, go back to number 1. Before I go into the steps, I'm going to share about why it's a good idea to live based on your passions. And the reason is because that way, every moment of work is fun. It can be challenging, but it won't be stressful in a bad way. It won't be like, oh, why do I have to do this? Because you're you know that it's getting you to a place that you want to be. And you don't get stressed. It's a fun challenge. Like it's the difference between like, oh, I'm stressed, or oh, this is a challenge. I'm excited to do this. And it solves a fundamental conflict in Western productivity-based lifestyles, which is, how do I be more productive but also enjoy my life? There's a conflict that you can have if you don't enjoy your work and you're in a society like ours in America, which is based on a capitalist society, which I think is awesome. If we have to do work that is valuable to society in order to get money to make ourselves free and happy, then if you don't like your work, then you're screwed. Then you're trading some time for other time. You're trading your time for freedom. But if you like the work, then it solves that conflict. You're not trading time for freedom. You're doing what you love doing and then getting freedom from it. So that's why you want to build a life based on your passion, which again is defined as doing something you love and making your living from it. All right, cool. So number 1, I'm going to go now deep into the steps. Number 1 is explore. Let me see the types of things that I've tried to make money from on a sustainable basis. Graphic design, bookbinding, keychains, to make custom laser etched keychains. What else? Voice acting, ride share. Well, ride share I wasn't passionate about, so let's. Those are 4, and then photography, which I'm doing now. There's more that I'm forgetting. Knitting was one of them. I was trying to do knitting. Marketing. I was trying to do marketing at one point. There's a few more paths I went down, and any of them could have worked if I found a way and I stuck at it. And there isn't necessarily a reason why I switched from one to the other. And some people could be wise in saying I should have just stuck to one, but as long as you like the path as long as you like doing what you're you've decided to do, oh, also programming is another one. As long as you like doing what you've decided to do, it's good enough choice. And that's choice number one is explore. Try a bunch of different things. Sorry, the step number one is explore. Try a bunch of different things that you think you'll like to do, and figure out the ones that you do like to do. So for me, it's pretty much anything art related, physical or digital. I love things creativity related. Step number two is choose one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. It would be wise to choose the one that you think would be the easiest to monetize and the thing that you'd like long term, even if it's done in a work context. Because for me, for instance, I like bookbinding, but when I tried to do bookbinding and make my living off of it, I found it very hard to scale. There might be some ways I could make long-term money off of it, like doing bookbinding lessons. I've been paid to do bookbinding lessons in the past, but that was something that seemed very difficult and an uphill battle to make a large living off of teaching people to bookbind. I'm sure it could be done. I'm sure there's a way that some people have done it, that I could potentially do it, but I decided it was too much of an uphill battle. And that is what happens when you go to step 4, which I'll talk about, is when you find out that making a living off of it is too much of an uphill battle, or when you find out that you actually don't really like it as much as you thought and you start hating it, right? Because the idea is to do something you love that makes a living. If it doesn't make a living, or if you end up not loving it, then that's not your passion that you're going to make a living off of. So step number 2 is follow one path. It really doesn't matter because, again, if it doesn't work out, you have unlimited tries. Number 3 is figure out how to make money from it. And that is just apply yourself, and put yourself all in to make money from that and make it your only source of money. Or at least your main source of money, only source for now. It doesn't have to always be your only source, but at least your main source. And if during that time you need to still make money other ways, that's fine. I think Uber is a great way to do it. I have some videos in the channel about how to make money with Uber. And so that's one thing that's really important, is it's not just do what you love, but do what you love and make a living from it. That's how you solve how do I make passion? How do I live my life with passion? For me, photography seems to be the easiest thing. I'm in the process of making all my living from it. At this point, I still have to do rideshare, and that's just because I'm new to it, and clients, they're coming. I sold 2 photo shoots this week. One of them is on Sunday for an event I'm really excited for. And one of them was yesterday that I completed, and that one went really well. And I also had a small giveaway, which wasn't paid for, but I did another photo shoot, a very short photo shoot that was a giveaway. Excuse me. So you have to try to make money with it. And that involves learning business concepts, which is a necessary evil, unfortunately. I don't really like. I like business, but I don't like it as much as a businessman does. For me, I used to see myself as a businessman who likes to do art. I found out I'm the opposite. I'm an artist who has to do business. And it doesn't mean I hate business. It doesn't mean I hate sales. It doesn't mean I hate any of these things. But it means that I really want to focus on the art. And so even if you don't want to learn how to make money, you kind of have to, especially if you want to make your money through your passion. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this channel, and you should just get a great job that you love. But that can be living off your passion. That's an easy shortcut, is just like find somebody else to pay you for your passion. If you can do that, great, go ahead. If you don't mind not having your freedom, but even as a business owner, you don't have complete freedom, because you still have to put in a good product. So it's not really as free as doing nothing and just like getting an inheritance, but it is more free than a job because you have more choice. So I would say one easy way to shortcut this all is get hired doing something you love for a great company that gives you the freedom that you want. But I would say the long-term thing, which is harder but more rewarding, is make a living on your own doing what you love. And that involves step 3, which is figure out how to make money. And I might do some, especially once I get more experience in running a creative business, I will probably do more videos on how to do that. Right now, I probably can talk about like an expert about some of the subjects, but give me more time and I'll be able to talk about a lot more with an air of being an expert because I have experience. So yeah, and then step number 4 is if you find that it's very, very, very difficult to make a living from it. I would say it's always possible, but if you find that the effort you're putting in is inordinately hard, then you go back to step 1, explore more, pick a different path, and then figure out how to make money from that. Like I've tried to make money with knitting because I love knitting. That's not scalable. And again, there are ways I could scale it, which is like teaching people to knit, doing knitting lessons, which I tried a little bit. And I could have tried harder. Also bookbinding, I found that wasn't scalable. When it comes to physical crafts, unless I sell them for like hundreds or thousands of dollars and have like a consistent flow of clients, it's not scalable. I love doing it and I still will probably do it, but it is a cost on my time if you're writing everything out and figuring out how much it is. Like I'm losing money, I'm paying money to do this, which is fine because I love it, but I'm not making a living from it. So it's not the passion that I would use to bring in my income. That is photography, at least for now, and it seems like that is going to be the one that I finally use to make a living. And my definition of that is $10,000 at least a month. And that's a pretty easy thing to do with a lot of different creative pursuits. Graphic design, you can do that. Photography, videography. It's a lot of pursuits that if you do it well and you advertise well and you run your business well, even like mediocrely well, you can make $10,000 a month. There's so many people that do that. Especially website building, programming 100%. Easy stuff to do. But I just hate programming, so I didn't do that. So wish you guys the best. I hope this helps you out. I want to help you guys live a passionate life. And this is something that is extremely exciting for me to share, especially now that I'm getting more and more success. I'm able to talk about more things from experience rather than just from theory. So hope this helps. Subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. Till next time.